Everyone wants to be the main character, the leader, the alpha, the savior, but when the lights cut and the crowd disappears, most people can't stand the quiet of their own room, let alone the truth in their own reflection. You post wisdom like confetti and call it growth. You say stay hard between dopamine hits. You preach discipline with a stomach full of secret compromises. And somehow, you've convinced yourself that this is leadership. It isn't. It's performance. It's a costume sewn from borrowed quotes and rented courage. It looks like progress from a distance. Up close, it's fraud. The world doesn't need another savior. It needs fewer liars. False heroism. Here's what false heroism sounds like. Advice you don't live. Promises you don't keep. Standards that collapse the moment no one's watching. You congratulate yourself for intention like it's execution. You build a reputation on future tense verbs. You're always about to start. You're always becoming. You're always almost. And at 2 a.m., when the mask slides, you revisit the same private loopholes you swore you sealed. The same feed, the same message, the same drawer, the same browser tab, the same numbing ritual with a new justification. You call it stress. You call it reward. You call it, I'll do better tomorrow. You don't call it what it is, a private oath to stay small. Heroism starts where performance ends, when no one's watching. The lie of progress. You track streaks. You color in boxes. You journal in perfect language. You polish the glass instead of cleaning the stain. Progress without self-confrontation is just choreography. And you're a world-class dancer. You've learned how to move around the sore spot, how to decorate the wound, how to rename it so it doesn't sting. The change you want lives behind the door you keep avoiding. Radical self-confrontation isn't pretty. It doesn't photograph well. It ruins your brand and rebuilds your soul. Ask the question you keep dodging. What are you still running from when no one's watching? Don't answer fast. Sit in the acid. Feel the excuses trying to swarm. Watch your mind reach for the same familiar exit. Blame, distraction, productivity. Deny at the door. Self-hatred in disguise. You criticize the world because it's easier than fixing yourself. Rage feels honest. Outrage feels righteous. And it might be. But sometimes it's camouflage. Energy you owe your own transformation, spent on commentary. You call society broken, yet you are still its obedient addict. The feeds you hate own your attention. The substances you judge own your evenings. The people you mock for being asleep lull you back to bed nightly. Every post, every complaint is a distance you place between you and the mirror. And the mirror is patient. It waits. It knows sooner or later every lie gets tired. The world doesn't heal from your performance of morality. It heals when one person stops outsourcing their war. The mirror. The mirror is not a surface. It's a courtroom. It's a confessional. It's a battlefield where your masks file lawsuits against your soul and lose. Stand there. Don't fix your hair. Don't adjust the light. Don't angle your face like a profile shot could save you. Let the fluorescent honesty hit your flaws at full voltage. Now say the thing you never say. I am not who I pretend to be. Not as self-hatred, as inventory, as a receipt you finally read line by line. Name the addictions. Calmly. Don't euphemize. Don't call it a little extra. Don't call it just stress. Say the names, the websites, the habits, the bottles, the stash, the secrets. Say the people you use for validation. Say the person you become to keep them near. Truth isn't a whip. It's a scalpel. You're not punished by it. You're freed through it. If it hurts, good. Pain is the bodyguard for the door you need to walk through. The private oath. Make a private oath the world will never clap for. Not a challenge, not a streak, not a post. An oath with no audience and no applause, measured only by a quieter room inside your chest. The oath is simple. Today, I will not betray myself. Not for a hit, not for a habit. Not for an identity that's expired but still pays and likes. You don't need to become a hero. You need to stop being the villain in your own story. The villain isn't a monster. It's the part of you that bargains with your future for a smaller now. Fire that part. Mourn it if you must. It's been your bodyguard and your prison guard, protecting you from shame while locking you away from power. Ego death, the personal funeral. Let's go deeper. The you you're defending, who is that? The achiever, the survivor, the brand? The story where you're always almost there, always misunderstood, always one push away from redemption? That identity lies to survive. It edits reality to stay relevant. It turns every loss into a legend and every lesson into content. It loves the sound of truth but hates the price. Hold a funeral. Not dramatic. Sacred. Write the eulogy for the identity that can't tell the truth unless it gets credit. Thank it for getting you here. Bury it for keeping you here. No flowers, no audience. Just a grave dug in the soil of your routines. Toss in the costume, your slogans, your secret shortcuts, your almost. Cover it. Walk home lighter. You don't need more motivation. You need a personal funeral. Rage-fueled interlude. The confidence epidemic. Confidence without receipts is cosplay. Discipline without honesty is theater. The grind is often a well-marketed stall tactic. Move fast, avoid depth, keep the music loud so you don't hear the truth knocking. Mock the costume, not the person. Tear down the lie, not the soul. Call the fake confidence what it is. Body armor over a fractured mirror. And then do the unfashionable thing. Lower the armor. Let the mirror see skin. Quietly haunting turn. The therapist's question. If you were the only one who ever knew whether you changed, would you still change? If every success had to be secret, would you still pursue it? If every apology had to be lived, not posted, would you still make it? Healing is not loud. It's not cinematic. It's not a crescendo. It's a choice repeated until it becomes a character. Practice. Radical self-confrontation. How it looks. 5 minutes in the mirror, daily, no phone, no notes. Name one lie you told yourself this week. Replace it with one non-negotiable action today. Keep it private. One conversation you've avoided, scheduled within 48 hours. Speak without performance. Ask for nothing. Own everything. One addiction you rename accurately, not stress relief, not escape. Call it the tax you pay to avoid the truth. Then pay a different tax. Discomfort. One ritual of removal. Delete, block, throw out. Not because you're strong, but because you're honest about how weak you become around it. One act of service you don't publish. Not humility theater. Just repair work on the world that begins with repair work on the self. The war inside. Your greatest war isn't outside, it's in the reflection you keep avoiding. Every external battle is a mirror in costume. Win the inside and the outside stops feeling like fate. The world doesn't need another savior, it needs fewer liars. Fewer people outsourcing their transformation to applause. Fewer people mistaking visibility for virtue. Stop writing futures you refuse to inhabit. Stop auditioning for a role that requires honesty while you negotiate the terms of your lies. Closing, the last look. Go to the mirror, not tomorrow, not when things calm down. Now look, longer than comfort, shorter than cruelty. When you feel the flinch, stay. When you feel the shame, breathe. When you feel the old story warming up its speech, interrupt it. Say this quietly like a vow. No more costumes, no more almost, no more saving the world to avoid saving myself. Put your hand on the glass. Feel how thin it is. That distance between who you perform and who you are, paper thin, razor sharp. You don't need to be the hero. You need to stop being the villain in your own story. Then walk away and live in a way that makes the mirror unnecessary. Not because you're avoiding it, but because you've become it.